it's a voluntary process by the students, so that they, their options might not be good. If they don't go to mediation, they may be put into detention or something like that. It depends on the school, but it is a voluntary process, so that the kids are there, the students are there because they want to be.
Okay, and so are there any situations where your mediation has not worked and there have been significant challenges to your general philosophy?
I'm sure there are many times that it hasn't worked exactly as planned, but there is a process for when it doesn't exactly go exactly as you'd want it to be. Where you can agree to disagree at least, so that there are ways that the mediators would take the process along. But
and I imagine in later years the goal would be to hopefully do that in a nonviolent manner.
Well, hopefully it's nonviolent. When it's happening. I mean, that's the whole concept is, and really the mediation is, part of that process. One of our philosophies is that conflict is an everyday part of life. You probably don't escape a day in which you haven't had some kind of conflict at some level.
With someone. At some situation. There's something always is going to happen.
Exactly. But what we're trying to show is that if you know how to deal with conflict can actually be a positive thing in your life, and it can be a learning experience in your life. So
how is that?
Well, I mean, if you have a conflict, it's generally going to motivate you to want to learn something about something, or it's going to motivate you in some way, maybe positively or negatively. But if you do have the skills on how to deal with it, hopefully you're going to be more positively motivated by and large, and know just how to deal with it. And a lot of times you're going to have to learn as a part of that process. A lot of times you're going to have to improve a relationship as a part of that process.
Well, you've got such a number of really interesting books and curriculums here, and they all sound so fantastic. We cooperate for peaceful purposes. Number 2, we speak with respect. Number 3, we listen with an open mind. 4, we act with kindness. 5, we care about each other's feelings, etc. So this sounds so wonderful. But tell me about perhaps some of the obstacles and the challenges that your foundation has endured.
Well, I think that a lot of what happens is that we really are trying to change the way that certain things are done in schools in some ways. Traditionally teachers have possibly, had they are without a doubt the authority in the classroom. They are the person that determines how things are done in the classroom and how they're not done in the classroom. And so that sometimes there is resistance from teachers on something like this because, traditionally maybe a teacher would expect that their students respect them, but they maybe didn't respect their students.
The students, so there needs to be
that what we're saying is, for you to have a good climate in the classroom, not only do the students need to respect the teacher, but you as the teacher need to respect the students. And so that's a change, and there is a lot of resistance with something like that. But once you've worked with a teacher, and really part of the training is really for the teacher to take in our philosophy.
Sure. Fortunately, we don't have much time, but earlier you'd mentioned that you're doing a lot of work internationally. So, given the situation with Iraq, what is the Peace Education Foundation doing?
Well, I can't say that we're doing too terribly much, but one of the things that did happen after things took place in Iraq is that we were contacted by the Minister of Education for the Kurdish part of Iraq, and actually our peacemaking skills for little kids, our kindergarten curriculum, was translated into Kurdish.
Well, it sounds like one step in the right direction, and hopefully that will continue, not only with Iraq, perhaps with many other countries as well. We'll be right back after this brief pause. You're watching Miami's Global Connection.
adventure and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
His phone's taken.
At once and explode into space.
Son, will this help you?
Nature's child. We were born to be wild. We can climb so high.
Hey, thanks.
I never wanna die.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Gratitude. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back to Miami's Global Connection. Lloyd, we were talking about the Peace Education Foundation and how the foundation is using educational materials, training, and innovative programming to make nonviolent conflict resolution not just a fad or an interest, but a lifestyle. How do you see this expanding, not just within the classroom, but on a global basis?
Well, so far there's the classroom and then there's the family, which we try to deal with also. And then on a global basis, what we're trying to do is, by working on all of these different countries, is we're trying to show that the same philosophy can work anywhere, and that it is, basic values that most people are going to want worldwide. That's fantastic. I'd like to thank Llyod van Bylevelt for taking the time to discuss his important work with the Peace Education Foundation. I'm Whitney Belker. Join me next time for another edition of Miami's Global Connection.